Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Happy Saturday. The weather update, just quickly, probably the least important for you, but some people care. It's gonna be raining today and the next 2 days in Moscow, but nevertheless we will be still exploring places. However, we walked the street before, guys. I'm not sure if you remember. We were just coming down together, and today we are going up to the very same place because I love that area and there is a place to sit down and read you the news. You will probably see the news number 1 and the title of this video, and that is about the problem that Ukraine is having, so the corruption in Ukraine, coming from Polish portal money.pl. I just found it this morning, so I'm gonna read this to you. The raindrops are coming, so I hope I can record this video before it fully starts to rain. And the second article is from TASS. Here comes the cleaning car. Where is he? Here we go. Keeping the city clean. Immaculately clean. The second news, the second article is no surprise at all, because yesterday I've asked you guys, what do you think? How long the conflict in Ukraine will continue? How long it will go on? And thank you for your comments below the video yesterday. Oh, it looks like this gate is closed. I have to go around probably. But Sergei Lavrov, the best diplomat in the world, just made some statements yesterday on September 1st, actually addressing that very question that I've asked yesterday. So thank you, Mr. Lavrov. I know it was not for me. It was not, your answer was not directed to my channel, but I mean, seriously, would be the greatest honor of my life, right? To ever have a pleasure to talk to Mr. Lavrov. But I'm gonna read you those 2 articles, and tomorrow I want to record a free flow video with very important updates regarding the changes in the Raiffeisen Bank here and how much more strict it had become towards the foreign currencies. So we are almost here, guys. You have to bear with me. The rain is already coming down, but hopefully I can enter this area. But let's see. I have some pages with me, so I can start. The title of this article, coming from Polish portal, says, Ukraine has a serious problem. It's out of control. This probably will be the title of this video. And it goes like this. By taking, one second. By taking further radical measures to reduce corruption, which weakens the mobilization potential of the armed forces, the Ukrainian authorities admit that this procedure is out of control. The analysts of the Center of Eastern Studies report. Let me check, where can I sit to avoid the rain? You know what? I think I will just sit like here. If it's gonna rain heavily, I sacrifice myself for you. Okay. Here we go. Let's start the news officially. See the building? Okay. So, this article talks about the corruption in Ukraine, how bad it is. And it says that according to the information prepared by OSW, Ukraine has a problem with corruption when it comes to the implementation of orders for the army and bribery in medical commissions. The Minister of Defense appointed Arsen Zumadilov for 3.5-year term as the head of the Material Security Agency of the Armed Forces of Ukraine. The institution is to be responsible for the purchase of all categories of supplies for the army, except for the armaments and military equipment. According to the Zumadilov, the agency, which was created in January, exists only on papers, and the main challenges ahead of this agency includes, in addition to eradicating corruption, accurate forecasting of purchasing policy, and the process of distribution of goods. Bribing members of medical committees. This is the part of this article, and it says that in turn, on August 30th, the functioning of military medical commissions was discussed. A comprehensive review of the validity of this decision, declaring unfit for military service and potentially related to corruption, will be carried out. The results of the checks will lead to criminal consequences for those who left the country on the basis of falsified decisions. The authorities, as we read in the OSW information, do not rule out sending extradition requests to countries where such a person can be identified. For example, Poland, right? The President of Ukraine pointed out that the bribe for the release of falsified documents ranges from $3,000 to $15,000. It's starting to rain, guys. So let me hide myself somewhere. But the President, Volodymyr, I think has a lot of info to share with people, right? He does. But all what he said that the bribe for the release of falsified documents ranges from $3,000 to $15,000. Interesting, he's not included in this category, right? But this was shown on Polish media. This was shown on one of the very, very big portals in Poland, money.pl. And it talks about corruption in Ukraine. Okay, officially there. Of course, Volodymyr is excluded from this because he's a hero, no? I'm sarcastic, you know I am. Now let me read you the words from the one and only Mr. Lavrov. So on TASS, see, it's like meant to be. On TASS, I found this article from yesterday. So this is Moscow, September 1st. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov said the length of the operation in Iraq and Afghanistan might help shine some light on how long the West will support Ukraine. At the meeting with the students and faculty of Moscow State Institute of International Relations, the top diplomat drew attention to statements by Western politicians about plans to support Ukraine for as long as it takes. We discussed this informally with our colleagues. Now, these are his words. We discussed this informally with our colleagues at the BRICS summit, and they asked me, how much do you think they will have to prop up Ukraine on the battlefield for it to win? And I said, this is all Lavrov words here, these are all his words, and I said, I can't guess, but those are examples. Look how much time it took them to achieve their goals in Iraq and how much time it took them in Afghanistan. And he continues, I think the answer here is clear. When he was asked how long it could take to create a more just and sustainable world order, Lavrov said, quoting him now, it is impossible to predict these things. It is not the rotation of the Earth, which is subject to the laws of astronomy, and not other processes in the field of exact sciences, history depends greatly on the personalities of those in charge. I really love this. I really love this sentence. I really like this statement here. History depends greatly on the personalities of those in charge. If a state, he continues, if a state is headed by a certain personality, bright or grey, you can observe daily in television reports and on internet how many personalities who have headed this or that state make decisions aimed solely at perpetuating their own, as they believe, dominance. And then there are personalities who understand the need to join forces, that there is a large number of risks and threats to all mankind, and only together it is possible to cope with them, coming up with solutions to overcome them, ones which meet the interest of the world, he said. I will finish this article and then I want to point at something, highlight something that I found quite spiritual and esoteric in his words, but maybe some of you already have picked this up. So he also said, Lavrov said that moving towards multipolarity in the world is unstoppable and is this inevitable course of history. This is inevitable course of history. Quotes from him now, it is difficult to say how long it will last. It was thought that the era of Western dominance would last forever, and it had lasted about 400 years, but it is coming to an end. Oh, how cute, Malchik. So cute. Okay, so what is my very, very interesting observation here? Another cleaning car, or maybe the same. So bear with the noise. When he said this, if a state is headed by a certain personality, bright or grey, and I read this and I was like, what he said? Okay, I know that many of you, well, maybe I will not expand my thoughts here because you will think I'm crazy, okay, because many of you are following me only since I started talking about the news and political stuff and war in Ukraine, conflict in Ukraine, special military operation in Ukraine. But there is more to, let's say there are more civilizations in this galaxy than just humankind, okay? And when he said about a certain personality, bright or grey, this is either a light being or a dark being, right? I will just leave it here because many of you where I'm heading with this. Because there are dark forces. So I just wanted to highlight to those who know what I'm talking about, because many of you will be like, this lady is nuts, she's losing her mind. But I promise you I'm not. I just see a lot of things, sometimes too much. So, this is it for today, everyone. A little bit quicker video, I hope you don't mind, because it's about to rain heavily soon. I will see you tomorrow with free-flowing video from Moscow. Probably we're gonna take a longer walk together and I will give you interesting updates from the Raiffeisen Bank to those of you who would like to travel to Russia, and how the situation looks like with the foreign currency, exchanging this here, how that particular bank, Raiffeisen Bank, is operating now with that. So I hope that will be helpful, but this will be tomorrow. And I think that's all I have for you today, guys. Lots of love, everyone. Make sure to join me on aniak44.locals.com. Safe platform. I can put all the videos there. You can say there whatever. No censorship. If you choose to support me, you can do it via Locals, or you can also buy me a coffee for my trip to China. As soon as I have all those goals reached there, I'm applying for a visa and heading to China. And what else? Follow me on Instagram so you can see places I go in Moscow too, some restaurants, some places like museums, etc. And join my mailing list to stay in touch. You can also find me on Rumble. I think that's it. Lots of love. Remember, we are the leading edge in saving the humanity. Bye everyone.